By the time our children make it to high school, they have been bombarded with provocative music and images. The CDC says nearly half of them are sexually active. And a disturbing number of Tennessee teachers are willing sex partners.
When a parent sends his or her child to school, they expect them to be educated. They don't expect them to be hit on by somebody in authority.
Sumner County District Attorney Ray Whitley has prosecuted a half-dozen teacher sex cases in the past few years, most recently Darrell Allen Keene. The Beach High School teacher and assistant football coach pleaded guilty to taking two 17-year-old students to the local Holiday Inn in December and having sex with one of them. And it's not just the men you have to worry about.
I can't say it's men more than women or women more than men now. It's both.
Detective Lisa House investigates sex and computer crimes for the Sumner County Sheriff's Department. She says when it comes to teacher sex scandals, women have found equal footing with men.
They're with your kids all the time. You know, they're with them, 8 hours a day at school. They've got easy access to them. They've got the chance to befriend them.
Defense called Sandy Binkley to the stand.
Former math teacher Sandy Binkley was sentenced to 12 years in prison for having sex with a teenage student at Portland High School. At trial, Binkley claims she was the victim.
I kept asking him to stop, and he kept telling me I just remember him repeatedly, over and over, "You've got to be quiet, you've got to be quiet, somebody's going to hear you." And I just kept asking him to stop.
But jurors found the teen more credible. The prosecution's case included more than 3,000 text and Facebook messages between Binkley and her victim. Hundreds of them were sent after Binkley says she was raped.
Do you recall posting that? Yes, I guess I did.
Digital technology now is where it's happening, and that's where a lot of these people are getting caught.
Detective House says when new cases come up, she mines Facebook, Twitter, and cell phone records for evidence. She says the suspects often end up putting themselves away.
Just because they send it or just because they send it and delete it, it's not gone. You know, it can be obtained, it can be found. And, you know, that's aided us in a lot of these prosecutions.
It's a very, very powerful tool, but it can be a powerful positive or a powerful negative.
Shannon Self is a social media expert. His company helps athletes, entertainers, and businesses make the most of social media. And Self understands the pitfalls better than most. His previous job was a youth pastor at one of the state's largest churches. Like teachers, Self says he knew he was just one text away from trouble. He says there's simply a line that can't be crossed.
Every time you tweet something or say something on a social media platform, pretend like your wife's sitting right there, or your boss, or your school superintendent. That'll change the game.
It's a lesson too many teachers have to learn the hard way.